Hi, I'm John Mayfield, the real estate tech guy, with another Global Real Estate School podcast. Hey, welcome to the podcast. My name is John Mayfield, the real estate tech guy. This is episode 271. Well, we are picking back up on the PSI Real Estate Exam outline. We are in valuation, and I'm under the section that talks about the effect of economic principles and property characteristics. Well, naturally, economic principles such as supply and demand, scarcity, and utility or usefulness play a crucial role in estimating property value. In the course, I actually use an acronym. I use a lot of acronyms, and one of the acronyms is called DUST, D-U-S-T. For real estate to have value, you have to have demand. There has to be some type of demand. There has to be utility or usefulness, right? There should also be scarcity, and you need to be able to transfer the property. I talk about a 4-lane stretch of highway. Naturally, there's demand for property like that. People in my career, over my 45 years, I've met a lot of people who would love to have their own private landing strip, right? So there's a demand for a concrete highway that might have two lanes where you could land a plane. Definitely has utility, doesn't it? Because you can use it as an airstrip. They're scarce. I mean, I haven't had a lot of real estate that I've seen for sale with a concrete runway. But can you transfer property that's owned by the government? Well, I mean, I guess you could if you get their permission, but something like that would not be transferable. So if you remember DUST, demand, utility, scarcity, and transferability, it will help you understand the economic principles and the effects of pricing regarding property. There are other situations and characteristics that affect value of property. When we look at property as real estate professionals, you're going to consider the location. Is it a good location? Are other properties selling in that location? The size of the property. Sometimes I've seen properties that were just very, very small, which affected the value. And sometimes you see properties that are very large that can affect the value. The condition, the amenities the property has, all of those affect value. So there could be desirable features or drawbacks that can affect the estimation of value. I know of a home in my neighborhood that I have tried to sell before, and actually it's for sale now. Very nice home, but you walk in the main level and the kitchen is upstairs. That is kind of a drawback. You actually have to walk up a flight of stairs to get to the kitchen. Now, some people may like that if they have lots of guests come over, because maybe then they don't have to worry about cleaning the dishes and everyone stays on the lower level, but it's not something you see a lot. And so that, to me, has always been a drawback for that specific property, and unfortunately has limited the value. Now, other homes in our neighborhood have gone up and sold very quickly for much higher prices, and that property is still on the market at a lower price. And so that specific feature is a drawback. So on the real estate exam, you are going to see questions that will be scenario-based with information, and you're going to have to figure out, okay, how does this affect the value? Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? Well, for example, I'll give you a question here. John is a real estate agent who is evaluating a property for a potential listing. He wants to consider the economic principles that could impact its value. Which economic principles should John take into account? A, supply and demand. B, scarcity. C, utility. Or D, all of the above. Well, that was a free softball pitch to you, a slow softball pitch, because I know you answered D, all of the above, but that's a great question to help you remember all of the economic principles: supply and demand, scarcity, utility, and in my acronym, I also list the word transferability. Well, I'm going to come back with another podcast from Valuation and the PSI Real Estate Exam. Remember, this will help you on the national exam in any state that you are located in. I hope that you found this helpful. Appreciate you listening to the podcast. Be sure and subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. And don't forget globalrealestateschool.com. We have the ultimate real estate exam prep, or what I sometimes refer to as my real estate exam coach. We also have digital flashcards. Check us out, globalrealestateschool.com. As always, go out and make it a great day. Thank you for listening to the podcast for Global Real Estate School. I'm John Mayfield, the Real Estate Tech Guy. Go out and make it a great day.